let's get into it. Welcome back to another Josh K Guitar video. It's been a while since I've done a lesson video, but I've gotten some really good questions on a Danny Gatton kind of like licks and tone video that I did from a while back. So I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into those questions. And I'd like to say, if there's ever a video, I've done a lot of lesson videos on various topics, and it's been a while since I've done one because I feel like I've covered a lot of the fundamental things that people need to become great players, but I haven't really gotten that many like questions or comments on things, so I was kind of waiting for somebody to ask something a little bit more specific. So thank you for the person that was commenting about the technique of actually how to get some of these licks. So the one that this person was talking about was this one in particular. And that happens in the other video around 20 seconds in or something like that. But he was asking about how to actually approach that and how to play that technically. And he was saying maybe I should get a thumb pick because it's kind of like bluegrass style and a lot of those people use a thumb pick. For me, I do the whole thing just with one of these. It's a Jim Dunlop 20, I believe it's a 206. 206. It's a little bit worn off, the writing there, but it's the 206 is the number. And I like them because they're really thick, so you don't have to pick very hard, but you still get a really pronounced attack. And also, you can use kind of like the pointed side for more lead stuff, and this for kind of maybe more like chord playing. And it gives you a couple of timbres to play with that I like. So something I was telling this person to do, and something they were asking was, I read that they put one pick on the third string and then maybe two fingers on the top two. Kind of like this, kind of a pluck. So you have I don't know which camera to use. So you have like these plucking some strings and then this picking at the same time. They call that hybrid picking. I recommend that folks do two things in terms of hybrid picking, and one is to arpeggiate things, which we'll talk about in a moment, but the first thing that I would recommend people do is learn to play chords with hybrid picking. There's a technique that people use called Travis picking, where you're playing a bass line accompaniment and then you're also, you heard that on the loop track. I like to have a little slap back on, but I'll turn that off. I recommend people just practice that to get independence between like your fingers and your pick, because that's the most important part of hybrid picking, is that everything can kind of do its own thing and it's not getting in the way of another finger or the pick or something. So number one thing is your pick motion, right? It's doing this: A string, D string, E string, D string. And that pattern can vary depending on where your pattern is, but I'm playing like this D7 here. Right? So if I'm doing that, that leaves those two strings, the G and the B, second and third string, to be played with these two fingers. But it's picking fingers together. Pick, fingers, pick, fingers, right? Pick, together, pick, fingers, pick, fingers, pick, together, pick, fingers, pick, fingers. you kind of get rocking on it, I find you can, it happens pretty automatically. The muscle memory builds itself, but it does help to start really slow. And speed it up as you feel more comfortable. A lot of people have a hard time going slow, and what they find is they also have a hard time going fast, and that's because they haven't built up their muscle memory properly to go quickly consistently, because they can't go slowly consistently. It's a weird thing, but it absolutely helps. So play slow. And then once you get it up to a reasonable tempo, that's not super fast, but it's something that you can kind of start to play with. And at that point, I would start playing songs. And you can play anything as easy as you can. But like, you know, take Wish You Were Here. So much you can do with that. You can play Nirvana. I'm a 90s kid, so like Weezer. Right? Like literally any song that you have kind of a simple chord progression with, you can kind of stick some Travis picking on there. It's really, really good practice, especially for independence on your right hand and your fingers. Now, you don't have to play that with a pick. If you've got a finger pick, that might free up some extra fingers so you can do even more things. I'm not a thumb picker, but you could totally do. I'm very sloppy with that, so forgive me, but I'm just putting that on and using two fingers now, right? So I don't have to use my ring finger. So if that's something that's more comfortable for you, go for it. To each their own. Nobody does this the same way. Some people just use their fingers only and no pick. I'm not picky about it. If you're getting the sound, you're getting the sound. So let's talk about that funny lick. Now, the way I did it, again, I said I do it all flat pick. So, again, I'm just using one of these. And where I was playing it there, it's fret 15, 16, and 17 on the first three strings. So I'm doing 15, 17, 15 on the second string. And then on the third string, 16. Now, it's tricky, though, because people will attack every note. And you'll find it's very hard to go quickly that way. So what I'm doing in that particular video is I'm just doing a pull-off here on the second string. That helps me get my pick to the third string in time, so I can be a little quicker. So that's the first part of it, and then the second part, that fret 16 on the third string gets lowered to the 15th fret. And I am barring down my first finger. And then it resolves down to fret 14, which is part of the D triad. That's like a, scale stuff. So if you know you're like D scale, D mixolydian, D major pentatonic, whatever, that works. So all of that stuff is right there. Now, if I wanted to do a hybrid pick thing, I would, as you asked, put the pick on the third string, middle finger, second string, and ring finger on the first string. And you can see you can go quite significantly faster that way. For me, I'm a little sloppy with that stuff, and it's a little wild and out of control when I go for it. But sometimes if I just need something that's wild and out of control and quick and like faster than a 16th note or a 32nd note or whatever, then that's what I might do. I might just use another finger or hammer on some pull-offs to get it. Again, you can do that with the thumb pick too. There's no one way to do this. Nobody's hands are like identical to anybody else's hands. So this whole process of understanding how to play other people's licks, it's a really personal thing. And the only way anybody ever sounds like Danny Gatton is to be Danny Gatton. There are people who get it extremely close because they've tapped into the gear and they've transcribed a lot and they've listened a lot. I'm not going to deny that. But for a lot of folks, there's kind of diminishing returns on doing that. If you want to have your own sound and not sound like Danny Gatton, but you want to be inspired by Danny Gatton, then you transcribe a few licks, you learn a couple of like I called them Danny Gatton-isms, and then you can apply that to your own music. So that's how I like to view anything like that. I try not to sound exactly like anything ever, unless I'm trying to sound like me. But that said, I like to quote things. I like it when things sound like other things, and I do enjoy that part of it. So anybody who is discovering their voice or has discovered their voice and kind of wants to add this to their arsenal, I hope this helps. Anyways, I'm going to play my way out.